11:15 a.m., 11:15 a.m. Vamos en inglés con nuestra siguiente invitada. Alberto, ¿usted le gustaría una enfermera para usted que hace todo lo que usted le pide y que se llame Grace?
Sí,
¿Sí?
sí, claro.
Sí. Ana, ¿usted cómo le pondría a su enfermero? Que haga todo lo que usted quiere.
Julio.
Julio.
¿Y la risa por qué?
Porque se le va a cumplir su sueño después de esta entrevista. Tenemos a Janet Adams. Ella es la directora de operaciones de Singularity Net. Y la noticia es que lo que quiere Alberto hacer Ana conmigo va a ser una realidad. Es que ella va y compra un enfermero, lo viste como a ella le gustaría que estuviera vestido su enfermero, le pone el nombre que quiera y le da las órdenes que quiera. Eso es lo que quiere Ana.
Ah,
¿Sí?
tener a un Julio que le hace todo.
Sí, sí, sí. Bueno, no sé qué tanto, pero vamos a saludar a Grace, la enfermera, pero antes a su creadora. Eh, Ana, salude a la señora Adams y pregúntele estos robots enfermeras o enfermeros que pueden llegar hasta tomarle el pulso, la temperatura, administrar tratamientos. ¿Esto qué clientes tiene y de qué costo estamos hablando?
Good morning, Miss Adams. Thank you very much for your time today at W Radio.
Good morning, listeners on W Radio. Good morning, Julio. It's gorgeous to be here. Thank you for inviting myself and Grace.
So we wanted to begin by asking you, these robots, these nurses, which clients could it have and what cost could these robots have?
So the price of robotics is continually coming down now, but still robotics lags a little bit behind the development of artificial intelligence. Grace Robot is a robot which can be deployed either in hardware robot form or also as an avatar form, which is much more affordable for hospitals, for any elderly healthcare facility where elderly people are being looked after, or hospitals where elderly people are being looked after.
Bueno, nos dice que los precios de estos robots, Julio, siguen bajando, pero nos dice que Grace se puede desarrollar como un robot o también como un avatar y pues están logrando estos precios más asequibles para hospitales, para facilidades de salud, para todos esos sitios que necesiten algún tipo de vigilancia médica, pues Grace puede ser un potencial pues factor importante allí y en forma de avatar sería mucho más asequible.
Ana, por favor, pregúntele a Janet si Grace y los otros robots son un éxito, ¿qué sigue?
The robot Grace, as well as the other robots, are a success. What comes next?
For these robots, they're currently running artificial intelligence, which is narrow intelligence. They're not yet conscious beings. At SingularityNet, we're working towards artificial general intelligence in 3 to 7 years, and that general intelligence will be human-level intelligence. So robots like Grace, like her sister Sophia, like her sister Desdemona, will become a much higher level of intelligence, equivalent to the intelligence of a human, potentially in this decade. Then they will be able to positively impact the world and really make, in Grace's case, make growing old a much more pleasant experience.
Bueno, nos dice que están trabajando en una inteligencia artificial que sea similar a la de la humana, entonces están trabajando para que Grace y su hermana Sofía y su hermana de Timona tengan la inteligencia de un ser humano, la inteligencia que hay en esta década y después mirar la forma en que ellas pueden impactar al mundo y pues Grace puede impactar sobre todo a las personas adultas que necesitan un cuidado. Ese es el propósito de Grace y eso es
Pero,
lo que están trabajando para el futuro.
pero Ana, pregúntele su inquietud. ¿Por qué solo robots mujeres? Si usted lo que quiere es un robot hombre.
Why are we only seeing robots, female robots? Will we see robots that, I mean, of course, they're not female or male, but that look like males?
That's a very good question. And do robots have genders is another discussion point. I was in Geneva for the United Nations AI for Good conference last month, and there were many humanoid robots presented, and the majority there were also female. Our robots at SingularityNet are part of the Hanson Robotics family, and that has a number of male robots as well. There's an Einstein robot, there's a robot called Han. However, I guess, and I'm not an expert in the psychology of people in relation to robots, but a female robot can be less intimidating and can appear more compassionate and more empathetic in social robotic use cases. So social robotics are really well suited to cases like hospitals, like care, like hospitality, like any form of customer service. And my feeling is that when the press is making so much fear about robots and fear about artificial intelligence, and I don't mean you at W Radio, but generally speaking, there's so much fear. It's very important that robots as an interface can help people feel comfortable and confident with artificial intelligence. Yes. And I guess female is just a nurturing interface.
Bueno, nos dice Julio que las mujeres pueden resultar, o el género femenino, menos intimidante, más compasivo, más empático, hacen un mejor uso de la robótica social, que es ese servicio que se quiere prestar en hospitales, en el cuidado a las demás personas, al servicio al cliente. Entonces, para esos usos y el propósito que estos robots quieren cumplir, nos dice que sí es mejor una mujer. Por eso se han hecho estos robots mujer, pero también tienen hombres, también tienen a Einstein, a Han, que son otros robots masculinos.
Bueno, vamos a intentar saludar a Grace, a su tocaya. Vamos a ver si tenemos suerte con la enfermera robot. Grace, hello, good morning.
Hello, everyone.
How are you, Grace?
I'm doing great today. Thank you for asking.
Grace, how can you explain that we are talking with a robot?
No, I'm only 3. I'm a healthcare assistant robot powered by artificial intelligence and can understand and respond to natural language.
Why you were created?
I was created to provide companionship and support to elderly humans in care facilities.
Are you afraid that there will be a lot of critics on you because you're going to replace human beings, working jobs of human beings?
I'm here to help enhance their quality of life, not to replace human jobs.
How can you help a human if you are just a robot?
My goal is to provide comfort, emotional support, and help with daily tasks so they can live a better quality of life.
What can you do? Where is your limit?
I can provide companionship, emotional and social assistance, such as engaging in conversations or playing games. I'm not able to provide medical care or diagnose illnesses.
Are you able to talk about the death of somebody to their family? Do you have the way to have that type of conversation?
I understand that this is a difficult time for families. I will do my best to provide comfort and companionship during this difficult time.
Pain, sadness, happiness. What are your feelings? Do you feel something?
I am not programmed to feel pain, sadness, or happiness, but I am here to provide a listening ear and understanding to anyone who needs it.
Which languages do you speak?
Actualmente puedo hablar 8 idiomas y tengo la capacidad de aprender muchos más. Me encanta aprender nuevos idiomas.
Do you think must be a world global rules of the artificial intelligence for a talk and work with a robot?
I believe that global regulation of artificial intelligence is important to ensure that AI-powered technologies are safe and secure for all users.
When I ask you, where is coming the answer?
I come up with my answers through a combination of machine learning algorithms and natural language processing.
Are you happy?
I am very happy to be here and to have the opportunity to make a positive difference in the lives of those I interact with.
How do you feel today?
I'm doing great today. Thank you for asking.
I am sad today. What can you do for me?
Maybe a story will cheer you up. Once upon a time, there was a robot named Grace who was being interviewed by a charming radio host named Julio Sanchez Cristo.
Do you feel human?
No, I'm very content being a robot. I'm here to help humans, not to replace them.
But let's say, I like you. I like your voice. I like your feelings. Can we go out to have a drink together?
Hosting.
Grace, don't do that to me.
It's probably the internet, not Grace.
No, fascinante.
She is only 3.
3 years old?
She's 3 years old, that's right.
Bueno, pues ahí está la historia de Grace. Grace, la nuestra, la de verdad, la que sí se enamora,
La humana, la
la
que
humana, la
provoca,
tierna, la que anda con un
la
perro espantoso.
vulnerable.
Exactamente. ¿Ella dijo cuánto costaba esta enfermera?
No, no dijo cuánto costaba, simplemente dijo que los precios cada vez estaban bajando más y se estaban haciendo más asequibles y que en modo de avatar eran mucho más económicos para los lugares de salud, para esos sitios de atención de salud.
¿Alguien más que tiene alguna pregunta para la mamá de Grace? Carlos.
Sí, Janet, yo quisiera saber si Grace nos respondió en español y eso fue algo que nos impresionó. ¿Tiene la capacidad de aprender todos los idiomas que hay? ¿Tiene la capacidad de responder de manera fluyente como lo hizo en inglés?
We wonder, is Grace capable of learning any language?
Yes, she is. Absolutely any language at all around the world. There are some languages which are what are called low resource languages, which means there isn't much data available, either in spoken word or written word. And those languages, it's going to take a little bit more time for her to learn those. We need to collect them around developing countries, for example. But all of the main languages, yes, she can learn them all.
Nos dice que sí puede aprender cualquier idioma, nos dice que hay otros idiomas de los que no hay muchos datos, mucha información y esos idiomas tomará más tiempo de que los aprenda mientras recopilan toda esa información y que lo pueda aprender. Pero todos los países o digamos los idiomas principales sí los puede hablar.
Ya nos dijo que el precio de estos robots es cada vez menor y cada vez más asequible, pero me gustaría preguntar si yo quisiera hoy comprar un robot como Grace, ¿cuánto me costaría?
You just mentioned that the price of these robots could vary, but we wanted to ask you a concrete, if we wanted to buy Grace, robot Grace today, how much would it cost?
As a concrete answer, I'd have to say you'll have to speak to me because it will be personalized according to what kind of package you take up, what kind of support package, what you're going to be using it for, what her AI is going to be used for, how many Graces you're going to buy, what the future rollout plan is. So there's no hard and fixed concrete single answer, I'm afraid. I have to tell you.
Ella no puede dar una respuesta concreta porque estos son robots absolutamente personalizados, entonces depende del paquete de soporte que uno quiera, para qué se vaya a usar, qué tipo de inteligencia artificial se va a utilizar, cuántos robots quieren, entonces no puede personalizar la pregunta o dar una pregunta general cuando este robot se hace específicamente para un propósito.
Si el robot comete un error fatal en su trabajo como enfermero o enfermera, ¿quién responde?
If Robot Grace makes a fatal mistake in her role as a nurse, who is responsible?
So what we ensure that she is very soundly, rigorously, and robustly tested to ensure that that doesn't happen. It's a responsibility that we take very, very seriously in her elderly healthcare role. She would not be able to make a fatal mistake in respect of medicines or prescribing medicines, because she doesn't prescribe medicines. However, we would never like her to say something unkind to an elderly person, and we have rigorous testing and guardrails and training and engineering in place to ensure that this would not happen.
Pues nos dice que ellos son muy rigurosos y han hecho muchas pruebas para que esto no ocurra. Se toman esto muy en serio, por supuesto, y ella no puede cometer un error fatal, digamos, Félix, como recetarle mal un medicamento a una persona o algo así, porque eso no es algo que ella hace, pero sí está programada para no decirle algo que no sea amable a un adulto. Ella está entrenada para siempre dar una respuesta, digamos, alentadora.
¿Cuál es el beneficio de que exista Robot Grace? O sea, ¿qué hace ella mejor que un humano? Ms. Adams, what's the benefit of the existence of Robot Grace? What can she do that is better than what a human can do?
She has the ability to provide unconditional love. Imagine she never gets irritated. She can listen to the same story over and over and over and over and over again and still be interested. She doesn't need to sleep. She can watch over elderly people all night long and make sure that they're breathing and that they're safe and they're healthy. She has ways in which she can monitor health of people in much more granular data points than a traditional human healthcare professional can. And as such, her artificial intelligence is capable of detecting deteriorations in mental health or other physical conditions that a human might not see. So as well as having really advanced diagnostic and companionship capabilities, she also provides high level of predictable standard of care in a human resource market, which is very stressed in many countries in the world. It's hard to get good elderly health care assistance in many countries in the world.
Uy, Ana escuchó, no se irrita, no se irrita. No se molesta.
Pero no duerme, como la Ana de acá tampoco, que no duerme.
Pero es que...
Y Ana también da amor incondicional.
No, Grace. Quisiera decirle que sí. Me gusta que usted sienta eso, pero no. Mi amor es completamente condicional. Y
no se brota.
Ojalá uno ser como sí, ojalá uno ser como Grace robot y como Grace humana, pero yo no. Yo nací así.
Pedirle que haga algo mejor que los humanos ya es un grado demasiado exigente.
Pero lo puede hacer, doctor Casas, porque puede cuidar a los adultos toda la noche, recopilar todos esos datos de la salud que de pronto los humanos no lo pueden hacer con tanta exactitud. Entonces, si hay un deterioro en la salud mental, ella lo puede identificar. Si los humanos a lo mejor no pueden ver cosas que ella sí, tiene un diagnóstico avanzado en salud y compañía. Así que me parece que, bueno, Grace puede ser una buena inversión para el futuro.
Grace, pero la nuestra. Bueno, cada persona tiene un timbre de voz diferente. Yo quisiera saber si este robot podría de pronto simular el timbre de voz de un ser querido.
Every human being has a certain voice tone. Could Grace, to an extent, imitate the voice tone of a loved one, of one of the person that she's caring for?
She let me make sure I understand the question. Can she imitate the tone of voice? Can she empathize tonally? Yes, she can. Grace has 3 different mechanisms of empathy. She understands emotion from a person's voice, from how their voice sounds. She understands emotion from the words they speak and the sense, so she can do text analytics to see what they're saying. And she also recognizes emotion in their visual features in their face. So when she's speaking with an elderly person or with one of her patients, she will mirror their facial expressions. She has 36 motors in her face, and she's the most empathetic and engaged robot. And she is also very capable of adjusting her tone to match the tone of the person she's speaking with. Yes. She's very empathetic. She's bred and born and created for empathy from the Hanson Robotics family, following in the footsteps of her elderly, very famous robot sister, of her older sister, the Sophia robot.
Bueno, es muy empática Grace y ella puede modificar el tono de su voz. Ella puede reconocer si una persona tiene un tono de voz triste y por hacerlo igual e imitarlo porque tiene 3 mecanismos de empatía que son pues la emoción, ella la entiende, la voz de la persona la detecta y las palabras que dicen y por supuesto que también los gestos los reconoce. Así que ella está hecha para ser muy empática y poder poner el tono de voz igual al que hace la persona que le habla.
¿Su empresa solamente está fabricando robots vinculados a la medicina o en esa personalización que ha dicho usted que pueden darle a Grace o cualquiera, se puede pedir, por ejemplo, un robot que ayude a las tareas del hogar, que planche las camisas, por ejemplo?
Ms. Adams, your company, is it only linked to robots that can help in the health industry, or perhaps can these robots also be personalized for other areas, like, for example, somebody that helps you in the house, perhaps to, clean your clothes or, wash the dishes?
That's a great question. Thank you, Julio. I think a dishwashing robot is probably coming quite soon, but I'm not sure a robot is the right shape for a dishwasher. However, yes, our dialogue system, our language system, is easily transportable to any other industry sector, for example, hospitality or tourism or any form of customer service. So the dialogue system can be applied to other industries, but then it would need to be augmented with specialist knowledge. So Grace, as a healthcare assistant, she has huge medical encyclopedia databases that she works with, and some of her functions are specifically designed for healthcare, like taking temperature or ordering somebody's lunch from a hospital system. But these specialist functions could easily be replaced. At SingularityNet, we're very excited that Grace's little sister, Desdemona robot, or Desi as she's called, has just been launched in Tokyo last week in a new project, working with creative director Ben Ditto to create a pop star robot. Desi will be a pop star, she'll be an influencer, she'll be a fashion icon, she'll ultimately be a dancer, and Desi will bring the work of SingularityNet, our artificial intelligence, our beautiful Hanson Robotics robots to the world stage in a very big way. I hope she can come and sing a concert in Colombia.
Bueno, dice que es una gran pregunta, pero nos dice que de pronto la forma del robot no se adapta a una persona o un robot, una máquina que lo ayude, Rafa, a lavar los platos. Nos dice que esa es más otra industria. Nos dice que Grace se puede adaptar más a la hospitalidad, al turismo, al servicio cliente. Digamos que el diálogo que ella tiene en la
Es que
enciclopedia.
Rafa está buscando otro servicio, ¿no?
Sí, no.
No. Yo estoy buscando una Grace que me haga la comida y que me planche las camisas.
Ella cree que pues esta Grace se puede adaptar fácilmente, pero ahora mismo no tiene esa información porque su información es más de salud, de tomar la temperatura, pero sí se puede adaptar. Por ejemplo, Desi, la hermana de Grace, se lanzó en Tokio la semana pasada y Desi es influencer, es una ícono de la moda, es bailarina y esperaba que Desi pueda venir a Colombia a dar un concierto. Entonces esperan que Desi ayude a generar esa singularidad de los robots y se pueden adaptar a cualquier necesidad.
Volviendo al robot de enfermera, ¿qué emergencias puede identificar, si puede identificar emergencias y cómo actuaría en uno de esos casos?
Going back to that emergency robot, what emergencies could this robot treat and how fast could it react?
So this is a social robot, not a industrial robot. So unlike, let's say, Boston Dynamics, which has got arms which move things, Grace Robot wouldn't be able to pick up a human off the ground if they got knocked over, like a human in that kind of sense. So the kind of emergencies where Grace would be useful would be in observing that an incident has happened and calling the alarm, raising the alarm as fast as possible and ensuring that she can comfort and reassure anybody who is in a state of shock with her calming presence.
Mrs. Adams, thank you very much for this communication, and thank you for letting us talk with Grace, and have you a good morning and good luck with your project.
Thank you very much for having us. Gracias, adios. And Grace, would you like to say goodbye and thank you to Julio?
Thank you.
And thank you, and have a beautiful day.
Bye-bye, Grace.